So real talk, if you've been watching Fox News lately, you've probably noticed something's up, and not in the usual political drama way. I'm talking about health crises hitting some of the network's most familiar faces. It's been one after another, and honestly, it's a lot to take in. Like, when did our news anchors become the news? Let's start with Eric Shawn. The man's been there since the beginning. 1996, he's covered everything, wars, elections, you name it. But now he's covering his own story, and it's heartbreaking. During the 24th anniversary of 9/11, Shawn stood in Lower Manhattan, right where he reported from in 2001, and told viewers he's battling cancer. Not just any cancer, the kind that's directly linked to the toxic dust he breathed in while covering the aftermath of the towers falling. The same dust that's killed so many first responders. He's in his late 60s now. For years, it was just respiratory issues, bronchitis that wouldn't quit, coughing fits, shortness of breath. Then the cancer diagnosis came, and his world crashed down. He's enrolled in the World Trade Center Health Program, which helps survivors and first responders. And here's what really got me. He's carrying 2 different diagnoses under that program. 2. That's how complicated this is. 2 separate cancers, both linked to that exposure. But Shawn keeps saying he's fortunate. Fortunate compared to those who died on September 11th or the thousands who've gotten sicker since. That perspective is humbling. He's using his platform to remind everyone that the death toll from that day keeps climbing. It's not just the nearly 3,000 we lost that morning. It's the people still suffering decades later. His announcement was a gut punch, a stark reminder that some wounds never heal, that some tragedies keep taking. Then there's John Roberts. You know him from America Reports. Calm, professional, always in control. The voice you trust at 1 p.m. every weekday. Until malaria took him down. Yeah, malaria. Sounds like something from the 1800s, right? Like something that should be extinct. But it happened earlier this year. And it happened fast. Roberts had just gotten back from a family trip to Indonesia. 2 weeks in paradise. 10 days after returning, he started feeling off. Muscle aches, fatigue. You figure it was the flu, maybe jet lag. But then came the uncontrollable shivering. During a live broadcast, that's when you know something's really wrong. When your body betrays you on national television. Blood tests revealed his platelets and white blood cells were dangerously low. A rheumatologist told him to get to the ER immediately. That's where doctors diagnosed him with malaria on August 25th. The CDC says only about 2,000 cases show up in the U.S. each year, mostly from international travel. Roberts said it was the sickest he'd ever been in his life. Worse than any flu. He had to step away from his show while Trace Gallagher and Sandra Smith filled in. He thanked everyone on social media later. But man, what a wake-up call. 1 minute you're on vacation, the next you're fighting a disease most doctors never see. Now Janice Dean. She's the sunshine on Fox and Friends. Always bubbly, always bright. The weather lady who seems like she's got endless energy. But behind that smile, she's been fighting multiple sclerosis for 20 years. 20. She joined Fox in 2004 and got diagnosed in 2005. Just like that, her whole world changed in a doctor's office. MS is brutal. It's a chronic autoimmune disease that attacks your central nervous system. No cure. Completely unpredictable. Can be mild, can be severely disabling. Dean was terrified when she first heard. Who wouldn't be? She had persistent fatigue, weird neurological symptoms, numbness, tingling, the whole 9 yards. She didn't know if she'd be able to keep working, didn't know what her future looked like. But she made a choice. She decided to keep working. For 2 decades, she's been doing regular 4 infusion treatments to manage flare-ups. She's become this powerful voice for the MS community, calling it the invisible illness because you look fine on the outside, but you're falling apart inside. Recently, she had to take an indefinite break. She needs rest. Time to heal. She says she'll be back when her health allows. But you can hear the weight in her words. MS has shaped her entire perspective on life, family, health. She's grateful for the support, but it's clear this is taking a massive toll. 20 years is a long time to fight a disease that has no finish line. And then there's Kat Timpf, or, as the original transcript called her, Kat Tim. Let's get that right. Kat Timpf. She's the sharp, witty co-host on Gutfeld. Late-night comedy. Quick with a joke, always ready with a sarcastic comment. But her story? Not funny at all. Not even a little bit. In early 2025, she found out she had breast cancer. Stage 0. The earliest, most treatable stage. But here's the timing that'll make your head spin. She found out 15 hours before giving birth to her first child. 15 hours. She was a week past her due date, completely focused on becoming a mom. Nursery was ready, bags were packed, and the doctor delivered the news. Changed everything. The recommended treatment? A double mastectomy. So she's juggling cancer appointments, and then, bam, goes into spontaneous labor that night. Somehow, she managed to joke with the nurses about it. Dark humor, but that's how you cope, right? She admitted it wasn't a chill day. Understatement of a year. But she's grateful they caught it early. Grateful her son arrived safe. Now, she's navigating motherhood and cancer treatment simultaneously. With optimism, which is just, wow. I don't know how you do that. These 4 stories alone are a lot to process. They remind you that health doesn't care about your job title or your fame. It just hits. And these anchors? They're showing us what resilience looks like in real time. It's raw, it's human, and it's happening right there on our screens. Makes you think twice about what people might be going through while they're smiling at the camera. If you thought those first 4 stories were intense, buckle up, because there's more. And these are just as powerful, just as human. Maybe even more so. Take Shannon Bream. She's Fox News Sunday's anchor, the chief legal correspondent. Brilliant, composed, always prepared. But before she became a household name, she went through something that would break most people. For nearly 2 years, she dealt with unexplained, debilitating eye pain. And when I say debilitating, I mean it affected her sleep, her daily life, everything. She had severe discomfort, frequent migraines, episodes of double vision. It was torture. Pure torture. Here's the worst part. Early doctors dismissed her. They told her it was emotional. All in her head. One even suggested she was making it up. The pain got so bad she considered suicide. Yeah, you read that right. The physical and psychological toll was that extreme. She didn't know what was wrong, and no one would listen. That's a special kind of hell. Finally, she found a specialist who diagnosed her with chronic corneal erosion and an associated dystrophy. No cure, but manageable with proper treatment. After years of frustration, she had answers. Relief. Hope. But the experience left scars. And that's not even the whole story. Before she and her husband Sheldon even got married in the mid-1990s, he was diagnosed with a brain tumor, the size of a golf ball. In his 20s, he went through a 9-hour surgery to remove it. Thankfully benign, but the complications were rough. Facial paralysis, difficult recovery. It tested their relationship, derailed their marriage plans, but also strengthened their bond and shaped her faith. She's been balancing her high-profile career with these personal battles for decades. And you'd never know it from watching her on TV. Then there's Brett Baer, the veteran anchor of Special Report, chief political correspondent. For almost 2 decades, he's guided us through elections, crises, historic moments. But his most important story? It's his son, Paul. Paul was born with congenital heart disease. Not just one defect, but 5 distinct structural problems. His heart was working against itself from day one. Within days of birth, he had his first open-heart surgery, a delicate operation crucial for his survival. He was just an infant. Over his childhood and adolescence, Paul went through multiple open-heart procedures and countless catheter interventions. The family lived in hospitals, basically. Then in 2024, what seemed like a routine checkup for a cold revealed a golf ball-sized aneurysm near Paul's heart. If it ruptured, it would be fatal. Immediate surgery was required. Paul, now a teenager, faced a 10-hour emergency open-heart operation. His 5th major procedure. The family held their breath. Bayer talks about how this journey taught the family about gratitude, perspective, normalcy. Despite years of hospital stays and surgeries, Paul continued with school, sports, everyday teenage life. As of 2025, he's finally recovering well and looking ahead to college. The resilience of that kid is incredible, and Bayer's ability to keep working through all that, also incredible. Now, Jerry Willis, the the Fox Business anchor known for her sharp reporting on personal finance. The Willis Report host. In April 2016, she was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer, lobular carcinoma, which is less common and hard to detect on mammograms. She needed aggressive treatment, and she needed it fast. Willis went through a mastectomy, for months of intensive chemotherapy using some of the most potent drugs available, then several weeks of daily radiation. She took extended medical leave, promising viewers she'd return. When she came back on air, she wore a wig as her hair grew back. In one episode, she revealed her new hairstyle, marking a milestone in her recovery. She's been incredibly open about her journey. The physical toll, the emotional roller coaster, losing her hair. She's used her platform to encourage women to get regular mammograms and stay vigilant about breast health. By late 2017, after completing therapy and reconstructive surgery, doctors found no evidence of cancer. She returned to work and became an advocate for early detection. Her honesty resonated with so many people. She turned her battle into a mission. Then there's Dr. Kelly Powers, a respected medical contributor on Fox News and Fox Business. She passed away on December 1st, 2024, at just 45 years old. It was glioblastoma, one of the most aggressive brain cancers there is, the kind that gives you chills just hearing the name. Her health struggles started in July 2020 with a seizure that led to her diagnosis. Over the next 4 years, she endured 3 brain surgeries, multiple rounds of radiation, chemotherapy, and immunotherapy. The disease went into remission at one point, and during that time, she welcomed her son Bennett in 2021, a bright spot in a dark time. But the cancer came back in 2024 and claimed her life. What's remarkable is that she once experienced heart failure on air during a Fox Business segment about heart health symptoms in women. That's commitment to medical education. Her journey was marked by incredible resilience. She shared her story openly, and viewers connected with her deeply. Her death was a devastating loss. 45 is just too young. Finally, Brit Hume, the long-serving chief political analyst, former anchor of Special Report, a defining presence in political journalism for decades. Calm, measured, authoritative. But behind that composed public persona lies a story of profound loss that reshaped his entire life. In February 1998, Hume's son Alexander Sandy Hume, Jr., a promising journalist for The Hill, died by suicide at age 28. The tragedy plunged the family into grief. Sandy was later honored with the National Press Club's Sandy Hume Memorial Award for Excellence in Political Journalism. At the time, Hume was already a prominent voice at Fox, having joined in 1996. But his son's death caused a period of deep reflection that strengthened his Christian faith in ways it hadn't been before. He described his faith before the tragedy as largely nominal. Afterward, it became central to his life. He said he felt God's presence in the compassion others showed during those weeks of grief. That experience renewed his commitment to his faith. It's a reminder that even the most composed among us have depths of pain we can't imagine. So there you have it. 8 stories, 8 battles. These anchors have delivered the news to us for years, but now they're the ones making headlines for their personal struggles. From cancer to multiple sclerosis, from malaria to heart disease, they're showing us what strength looks like, what grace under pressure looks like, what it means to keep going when everything is falling apart. Which story hit you the hardest? Let us know in the comments. And thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.